Hi everybody, I'm Bree the Plant Lady, and this week I am going to start sort of a new video series. Instead of doing really long weekly garden tours, I'm going to break the garden down into a couple different sections and do a more in-depth tour of each space and post them over a period of days instead of being just on Mondays. It's mostly because I'm not doing a lot in the garden right now, so I don't have a lot of how-to content to share and record, but I want to be able to keep in touch and post videos more regularly so we can feel connected. So I thought I would just start right here in this sort of back corner of the backyard. So let me turn the camera around and give you an up-close view. Well, even at like 6 p.m., there are swallowtails active on the Phlox paniculata bright eyes. And the first Brugmansia flower has opened, which smells amazing in the evenings. So this is the trumpet vine. This is Charles Grimaldi. And you can see there's lots of flowers coming. That's actually a day length trigger that initiates the flower blooms. The days are getting shorter and that stimulates the plant to flower. And at the base, you can see that the Treasure Island sweet potato is growing really well. It's starting to get higher up on the arch. And of course, you can grow sweet potatoes as a ground cover, or you can train them up. They're only going to set tubers at the initial point where they were planted. So you don't really need them to root in all over the ground. And I think growing them over the arch is a really cool, dynamic way to take advantage of that vertical square footage. So this bed, I ripped out the zucchini and replaced them with pieces of coleus that had rooted in vases. And then a few days ago, I did an overseeding of wildfire lettuce and nasturtium. And that was like 2 days ago, I think. And look, the lettuce is starting to germinate. So by the time the spring open garden or the fall open garden happens, this bed, hopefully you won't see any mulch at all. So that's a pretty easy and very inexpensive way to kind of seasonally transition a summer bed for the second half of summer, where you can grow different plants than you can, say, in the months of May and June. Well, the feed tank bed is looking awesome, and it's really great when you're in it because you're just like down surrounded by those coleus and this amazing basil that is absolutely amazing. I've been doing a prune pretty regularly to keep this coleus kind of looking neat and organized. I've only had to cut off a few flowers. Same thing with the amazel basil. Usually it's just like by this time of year basil's covered in blooms, and look at this plant. It's huge. My neighbor came over and was like, "You grow basil bushes." I know, it's incredible. Look at that one there. There's more over in this bed. I'm hoping that I've seen some monarchs. I'm hoping that I'll have some caterpillars soon to eat all the various milkweeds that I've planted. Here's more basil. I still have these zucchini, though they're not looking 100%. We've been eating the flowers because I'm not getting good fruit set. Everything sort of rots after a couple of days, and you can see the damage from the squash vine borer. I should have injected it with BT back like 6 weeks ago, but honestly, I didn't get a lot accomplished when I had COVID, like all of July. So that's okay. They'll come out sooner than later because they don't look really pretty. But I think there's enough planted in here, and I could definitely do some direct seeding, that if I remove these zucchinis, the bed won't look completely empty. But I think I'm gonna wait until I get back on Monday, make that decision. They'll probably look worse when I get home. Well, as we make our way here, show you the Koofia that has been hardy now for, I think this is its third growing season. And along this border, I really love the color and texture of the caladium. And you know, those are caladiums I think I bought at Walmart, just in a bag. And if you plant them as a bulb, instead of buying them at a garden center already growing, they'll actually take a lot more sun than you realize. And this is still gets some shade. This border, since I pruned a lot of the trees up, is a lot more sunny. And they've just done so well, and they really haven't needed to get a huge amount of water. And of course, mixed with coleus and Koofia. The deer have been eating the Koofia, but it's finally coming out. And look at this sweet little Zephyranthes. This is a rain lily whose name whose name is, Ajax. I think that is a cute little flower to be blooming right now. And the champagne grapes are really off color. They are in a pot. I probably am not fertilizing the pot enough. I ate some of the grapes, but I really don't like them. Maybe I just don't like grapes. But you can see I've got Treasure Island sweet potato planted here, and some cream sausage tomatoes that are looking small, but I know these will end up producing in the fall. And then I think this is a gourd that I don't recall planting, but I've grown gourds here before. So hopefully this trellis will get some better coverage. And as we come in here, if you watch the video of the what to sow in middle of August, I did these pots with a variety of things. Nothing has germinated yet. I have been keeping them watered. I'm really pleased though with how the banana wall looks. So this is, the back side, and I've been building a bottle wall here. And the bananas are just so dramatic and awesome. I love the view from the front, but they're equally cool from the back. Of course, we've got these tomatoes that are still hanging on, but I've still got wilt. Look at that. I swear, tomatoes in North Carolina, they just break your heart. And some of you may have recalled the video where I was talking about when I used to produce sequoia. I used to work as a propagator. So all the trees in this garden are things I propagated, either from seed, grafting, or cutting, including the figs and the Prunus mume and the sequoia. I think it would be really cool, like in 300 years, for people like, why is there a giant redwood in Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina? I think the thing with the fire pit is that I like every peek into the space. I wish I had more garden rooms on this property, and I want to be conscientious to create that next door. But like from this side corner, the mangave display is amazing, and these containerized foodscapes are great. The coleus are just so dramatic, and the peppers and eggplants, everything that's planted in those is doing really well. So the wall of figs is enormous, and I have lots of raspberries, so that's nice. There's Cubby. As we enter the fire pit, you can see the blueberries are definitely suffering. I have not gotten my soil test results back, but yeah, I think I'm losing these because the pH is too high, and it looks like an iron deficiency that's probably manifesting because of a pH level. So that's okay. When something dies, it's an opportunity to grow something different. And I'm going to plant a whole bunch of blueberries next door. So I won't be without blueberries. Of course, this is my favorite view. The mangave are so dramatic. And with that banana backdrop, I just think it looks super cool. Plants do the neatest things. I think that's why gardening is so awesome, because no 2 years are ever the same. Everything that you can grow is just an expression of creativity. It's such a great hobby. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this sort of concentrated backyard tour. Stay tuned tomorrow for another more detailed section of a different part of my garden. And yeah, I look forward to sharing meaningful updates that hopefully you remember, like when these areas were planted, so you have some context of what it was and how it's transitioned. If you haven't watched those videos, go back in time in my weekly garden tours playlist, and you can actually see the garden evolve basically over the course of 15 or 16 months. So hopefully those will be helpful and inspiring, and I look forward to sharing more videos with you again tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching, everybody.